She laughed at my dreams, so I walked away. When I first met Clara Benson, it felt like fate had finally decided to be kind. She was brilliant, driven, and disarmingly magnetic. There was an ease to the way she moved through the world, like she belonged everywhere, and everyone else was just lucky to be in her orbit. We met at a friend's birthday dinner, and I still remember the first time she laughed. A bold, unapologetic laugh that turned heads. I was instantly drawn to her. There was something intoxicating about Clara. She didn't just make conversation, she engaged. She had a gift for making you feel like the most interesting person in the room. I wasn't the only one who noticed her light, but somehow she chose me. From that night forward, we were nearly inseparable. Weekends became our sanctuaries. Long drives with no destination, unhurried breakfasts over shared dreams, and nights spent talking until sleep claimed us mid-sentence. We built a private world, rich with inside jokes and whispered promises. Clara worked in finance, a fast-paced, high-stakes environment where she thrived. She rose quickly, impressing executives and outpacing her peers. Her ambition was undeniable, and I was proud of her. She wore her confidence like a second skin and walked into every room like she owned it. My own life took a different shape. I owned a small landscaping company called Verdant Touch, something I had built with nothing but calloused hands and relentless effort. It wasn't glamorous, but I found purpose in it. Transforming overgrown lots into gardens, designing outdoor spaces from scratch. It was honest work, creative and satisfying. Clara used to say she loved that about me, that I wasn't chasing boardroom clout but crafting something of my own. She told me I inspired her. And I believed her. First, the shift was subtle. Playful digs, the kind you brush off. "You wouldn't get it," she'd say with a smirk whenever work stress got to her. "You're lucky, no spreadsheets, no board meetings." I laughed along. Didn't feel mean. Just venting. Right. But over time the tone changed. At a dinner party one night, she joked, "Must be nice to play outside all day instead of dealing with quarterly reports." Everyone laughed. I forced a smile. Stung. Not because it wasn't true in a sense, but because it felt like the first crack in something I had thought was built on mutual respect. The comments grew sharper, more frequent. Still, I tried to let it slide. I told myself she was tired, overwhelmed, maybe unaware of how condescending it sounded. And then I proposed. It wasn't extravagant, just the two of us, quiet and sincere. I poured my heart out. Told her I couldn't imagine a future without her. She said yes. She smiled, kissed me, and for a moment the world realigned. But the unraveling had already begun. The final blow came at her company's end-of-year gala, a black-tie affair in a glimmering downtown hotel. Clara wanted me there, said it was important to her. So I went, determined to support her, even if I didn't quite fit in with her world of suits and quarterly targets. She introduced me warmly at first, her hand resting lightly on my back. But then came the inevitable question from one of her sharply dressed colleagues. "What do you do, Evan?" "I run a landscaping business," I said. "We specialize in designing and transforming outdoor spaces. Gardens, courtyards, rooftops, you name it." Polite smile. A nod that didn't reach the eyes. "Interesting." That word again. Interesting. Said like a parent reacting to a child's finger painting. And then Clara joined in the laughter. One of her co-workers asked how we met, expecting a sweet story. Instead, Clara chuckled and said, "He's my rugged handyman." They laughed. I didn't. Someone else, emboldened by whiskey and arrogance, joked, "Clara, dating down for once?" She laughed. Real laugh. Like it was the funniest thing she'd heard all night. And the final gut punch. When someone asked if my business would ever go corporate, Clara smirked. "Maybe one day. For now, he's landscaping for retirees and yoga moms." I set my drink down. "I think I'm done here," I said softly. Clara blinked. "What? Where are you going?" "Home. You can explain why to your friends." The drive home was a blur of anger and humiliation. When we got inside, I turned to her. "What the hell was that?" Her confusion felt like gaslighting. "You're overreacting." No, I said, my voice low. I stood there while your colleagues mocked me, and you joined in. You didn't defend me. You made it worse. She looked away, then said, It's not like your job is prestigious or anything. I mean, you mow lawns. Felt something in me break. Is that all you think I do? Silence. He nodded. I can't marry someone who doesn't respect me. She folded her arms. Fine. Maybe we shouldn't get married. Maybe we shouldn't, I agreed. I took the ring from her finger and set it on the counter. The cold metal burned in my palm for a moment. Then nothing. Goodbye, Clara. Just like that, it ended. The days that followed felt hollow. One moment I was debating wedding venues. The next, it was all ash and echoes. The silence in the house became unbearable. Every creak, every empty hanger, every unopened bottle of wine we'd saved for someday reminded me of what was lost. But it wasn't just loneliness that haunted me. It was doubt. Had she ever really respected me? Or had I always been her fixer-upper? Work became my refuge. I took on more clients, poured myself into every detail. Plants didn't judge. Dirt didn't laugh. And each transformed space reminded me that my work had value. Visible, tangible, lasting value. Friends were quick to show up. She didn't deserve you, they said. Sounded like a cliché. But sometimes clichés are what get you through the night. 6 months passed. Verdant Touch was thriving. Corporate clients started calling. I landed a massive contract designing the rooftop garden of a tech firm. Ironically, in the same building where Clara worked. I didn't plan that. Life has a sense of humor. And then, out of nowhere, Clara reached out. The text was short. Hi Evan. Can we talk? Against my better judgment, I agreed. Curiosity won. We met at a small cafe we used to frequent. She looked tired. Her eyes didn't sparkle like they used to. I wanted to say I'm sorry, she said. For how I treated you. For what I said. I was caught up in my own world. I didn't realize how much I disrespected you. I nodded slowly. Why now? Her voice wavered. Things have been hard. Work's changed. I've had time to think. I just wanted you to know. I see it now. I let her speak. Then I stood. I appreciate the apology, Clara. But you didn't just make jokes, you made me feel small. That's not something I can just forget. She nodded through tears. Take care of yourself, I said, walking away. Closure doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's just knowing you've outgrown the pain. Today my business is thriving more than ever. And I'm with someone new. Maya, an old college friend who came back into my life at the right time. She's thoughtful, genuine. She tells me my work creates beauty, not just for clients but for the world. Clara made me doubt my worth. Maya reminds me of it. Looking back, I see now that the breakup was a beginning, not an end. It forced me to see what I truly needed in a partner: respect, empathy, and belief. So, if you've ever felt diminished by someone who was supposed to lift you up, walk away. Because love without respect isn't love at all.